Hey everyone, and welcome back. It's the season of giving, and we're diving deep into something really important today, giving wisely. How to make sure our generosity actually goes to the right places. Avoid those charity scams that pop up, especially around the holidays.
Yeah, that's a great topic, especially now.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
Um, you might be surprised to learn that, like, some scammers, they even use names that sound super close to real charities, hoping to trick people, you know?
It's true. They really bank on people not paying super close attention.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So how do we make sure our good intentions actually reach those in need and don't end up lining the pockets of some Grinch-like scammer?
Oh,
That's what we're going to break down today.
absolutely. And the FTC has some really solid advice on this.
Yeah, they do. They do. Let's start there. Why don't we?
Sounds good.
Okay, so the FTC, they warn against, like, feeling pressured into donating, especially, those calls or messages
Mm.
that just seem so urgent.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
You have to donate right now.
Right. They're trying to really push you,
Mm-hmm.
especially if it's like over the phone or social media.
Yeah.
Ever get those?
All the time, especially on social media. It's like every other post.
Yeah, for sure. So the FTC says that legitimate charities, they get it.
Yeah.
Giving is something people like to think about. It's a thoughtful act.
Exactly. It's not an impulse buy. You want to make sure your money's going to the right place.
Exactly. Okay, this reminds me of another thing the FTC says.
Yeah.
It's about doing your homework, like actually researching a charity before you give.
Due diligence. Right.
Exactly, like being a detective for good causes.
I love that. A detective for good causes.
Right. So they say, search the charity's name online and add words like complaint or review or even scam.
Yeah, and don't just stop at the first page of results. Really dig a little deeper.
Yeah. You know what else? They even say to check out organizations like Charity Navigator GuideStar, the Better Business Bureau's Wise Giving Alliance.
Yep, those are great resources. They can give you a more objective look at a charity.
Totally. So it's not just about, surface level internet searching.
Yeah.
Really get a good feel.
Informed giving.
Yes. Speaking of getting a good feel, have you ever gotten a call that looks like it's from a local number or like a well-known organization, but something just felt off?
Oh, yeah. Like that gut feeling that something's not quite right.
Yeah, so that's what the FTC warns about caller ID spoofing.
Yeah, that's a big one. Scammers can actually make it look like they're calling from somewhere else entirely.
It's crazy. So how do we protect ourselves from that?
Well, the FTC says verify, verify, verify.
All right.
If someone calls claiming to represent a charity, hang up and call back using a number you've independently verified, like from their official website.
Okay, so don't give them a chance to, like, weave a tale.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Take control of the situation.
I like that. Okay, so we've talked about phone calls. Let's move to the online world websites because the FTC has some tips on that too.
They do. A charity's website should be like a window into their operations. Totally transparent.
Makes sense.
Hmm.
What would you say is the first thing you look for on a website to make you feel good about donating?
Transparency. Like, is there clear information about their programs, how they use donations, what percentage goes directly to the cause? If a website is vague or tries to hide information, big red flag.
Yeah, like they're trying to hide something.
Right. Legitimate charities want to be open about their work.
That makes sense. I once stumbled upon a charity website that was so confusing. It was like a wild goose chase just trying to donate.
Oh, yeah. You actually gave up.
I actually gave up. It's like they didn't want my money.
Well, and that's another thing the FTC mentions. Be wary of charities that seem to pop up out of nowhere, especially after like a big event or natural disaster.
Yeah, like they're trying to capitalize on the situation.
Exactly. Legitimate charities, they've got a track record. You can see what they've done in the past.
Okay, so it's about taking that extra moment to double check and really look into things.
Absolutely. Don't let those heartstrings lead you astray.
That's good advice.
All right, so we've talked about pressure tactics. We've talked about online research. Now let's get into something that can be a little tricky. Payment methods.
Oh, yeah. How you actually give the money. Because that can be a red flag too, right?
Yeah. The FTC is very clear about this. Be cautious about the payment methods a charity is asking for.
Why is that? I mean, are some payment methods riskier than others?
They are. Think about it. Scammers, they love untraceable or irreversible payments. Things like cryptocurrency, wire transfers, payment apps, even gift cards.
Gift cards, really?
Yeah, they're like cash.
Once that code is gone, it's gone. No getting it back.
So if things go wrong, you're kind of out of luck.
Pretty much. And that's why the FTC recommends sticking with safer options like credit cards or checks, because at least there's a paper trail. some way
Yeah.
to track things.
Yeah, it's like having some kind of protection.
Exactly, like a safety net for your generosity.
So a big red flag would be if they're like really pushing you to use one of those less secure methods.
Absolutely. Especially if they're being evasive about other options. That's a big warning sign.
Okay, so it's about being smart and doing your research, even when it comes to how you pay.
Exactly. Don't let the spirit of giving override your common sense. Great advice. So we've covered a lot of ground. Let's quickly recap some of the key points we've talked about so far.
That's good.
Don't feel pressured to donate on the spot. Do your research. Verify the charity's legitimacy. Check their website for transparency and any red flags. And be careful about those unusual payment requests.
That's a great summary. Empowering ourselves to give wisely.
Right, because giving should be a joyful thing, not something that leaves you feeling stressed or scammed.
Exactly. Informed giving is empowered giving.
I love that informed giving is empowered giving.
Covered a lot, but I want to circle back to something we talked about earlier about those emotional appeals.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's natural to feel moved by a compelling story.
Especially during the holidays.
Right.
Exactly. But how do we balance those emotions with the need to be cautious?
Yeah.
How do we make sure our hearts and minds are working together?
It's a great question. Do we have to become like totally jaded and skeptical to avoid getting scammed?
I don't think so. It's more about finding that balance between empathy and critical thinking.
Okay. So how do we do that?
Well, take a deep breath before making any donation. Ask yourself some key questions. Like, has this organization provided evidence to back up their claims? Have I verified their legitimacy through independent sources? Am I comfortable with their payment methods, their level of transparency? Really think it through.
So it's about making sure those heartwarming stories align with the facts.
Exactly. And with the organization's track record, we can be compassionate and discerning at the same time.
I like that. Compassionate and discerning.
Right, because informed giving is empowered giving. It lets us direct our generosity toward genuine causes that resonate with us. It's about making sure our good intentions translate into real-world impact.
That's a powerful way to put it. It is. And remember, we can use technology to our advantage too. Online resources like Charity Navigator and GuideStar. They provide in-depth reports on thousands of charities.
It's so helpful, taking the guesswork out of it.
Exactly.
This has been such an eye-opening conversation. Thank you so much for helping us navigate the world of charitable giving and become more informed donors.
My pleasure. Remember giving wisely? It's a gift in itself.
So true. And to all our listeners, thank you for joining us on this journey of giving wisely. We hope this information empowers you to make a real difference this holiday season.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays. And may all your giving be impactful and scam-free.